Hello and welcome to the AI Summit London. My name is Max Smolaks, editor at AI Business, a publication dedicated to artificial intelligence, and I'm pleased to welcome Rajat Kotra, who's the new director for AI and analytics at Informa. Welcome to the show, Rajat.
Hey, thank you, Max. Thanks for having me.
I am responsible for AI business, and on our pages we often talk about, like AI deployed for business. But as an organization, Informa, which owns the AI business, perhaps we've been a little bit slower on the uptake. We're not using AI analytics as much as we should. And yes, so where do you plan to start on this kind of analytics transformation?
Okay, yeah, that's a comprehensive question. And yes, I've just joined Informa in January of this year, Max. The first thing I did was to look at the diversity of our business, because that brings in itself a huge opportunity for us to innovate in multiple different areas. So that's something I really loved about this opportunity when I was coming in. Now, of course, my background has been doing advanced analytics, AI, and business scaling and growth globally for the last about 30 years. So I have done quite a few different things, including two of my own startups.
Oh.
Yeah, and I also advise startups as we speak, along with the work I do with Informa. When I look at Informa, I really spent the first couple of weeks trying to assess the maturity of our data and information processes within the company. And that gave me a few direct pointers on where we need to invest currently to get our data organized and in better quality, and take some time to really set some foundational processes in the businesses, and where we can, with less effort and kind of investments, we can go ahead and start really developing products. So that's the work I did initially in the first few weeks, and then based on that we built a strategy to really start investing in building products into our intelligence businesses. I picked up with the teams, working with them very closely, the pharma area, and we started developing our first machine learning and AI product in the pharma intelligence in about early this year.
Okay.
That product is now getting launched in November, and we already have some revenue pipeline built for that. Then the other area which we have prioritized is, of course, in maritime intelligence, where again we are building modeling-based products already, which have started generating revenue, as well as we are taking that product concept now next year to include predictive analytics to start predicting, different activities in the shipping industry.
Yes.
On our events businesses, I think, like I said before, we are completely focused right now on investing and creating our data organized and improve the quality of the rich behavior data which we have been starting to get, especially since COVID happened last year and we moved all our events online. We are really collecting a lot of behavior signals, which we are right now organizing in our platform, which we are calling Iris. And then the objective is to really become the provider of choice for creating value from that data to our clients, especially if you look at the third-party cookie challenges now. I think the hypothesis we are developing is, with that happening in the next couple of years, the importance of the behavior signals and the data we collect about our audiences will really be the game changer for multiple use cases.
Okay, but this has been stunningly fast. So you joined in January, and right now you've already kind of spun up products that are already delivering value.
Yes, yeah, that's what I like doing. I liked setting up small examples of success, which people can touch and feel. Like I said, I've been doing this for quite a long time, and one of my learnings have been that it's still a topic which people want to talk about, but don't really understand much.
Yes.
So what I want to do with Informa is to create those examples, what I call sample flats, before we start building the whole mansion and the whole complex. The idea is to build those sample flats first, which anybody within the organization can come and get a touch and feel of. And that's what excites them to do more back in their business. So that's what we really have built in pharma and starting to build in maritime now.
Okay. And If you could advise, your fellow business leaders about kind of, like how to develop an AI strategy over the next couple of years, what would you say are some of the main points, some of the things people should keep in mind?
Sure, yeah, I love sharing what I have learned, and in these, in my experiences, I have earned a few stripes and lots of scars. So I just don't, shy away from sharing my learnings. I think to begin with, before you start your AI journey, there are some basics you need to take care of and ensure they are in place. First up is keep the language around what you are trying to do as simple and as understandable as possible. I don't want to complicate this, but we also have to keep our AI models as much explainable as possible. So that's the first aspect. The second thing which I always share is on the quality of our data. Before you embark on this journey or even plan your journey, look at your data, identify those areas where the quality is of a certain level and the maturity exists for you to really start deploying models and generating valuable insights and solutions for your customers. And the third piece which I say before you start the journey is to address with everyone around you, especially in the leadership and the workforce, is that this is not going to be about machines or people. This is about machines and people. And that's something which clears a lot of misconceptions and reservations people have about new technologies like AI and machine learning. Now, of course, once you plan the journey, I also strongly believe and recommend that while the use cases come bottoms up, it's best to get the use cases from the people who are closest to the customer and get them to work on real customer problems. It's equally important to start the process of change management top down. And what I mean by that is, we need to prepare our senior leadership across businesses to make them understand two broad things. One, this is a process of change and discovery. Not everything will be cast in stone. Things will change, and this is an iterative process of data science development. We should start in the right direction, keep in the right direction. If we need to change in between from a project or a product perspective, that's absolutely okay. In fact, it's encouraged. The number two aspect I always make sure that leadership understands upfront while planning the journey is humility. What I mean by that is, Max, this journey will be about unlearning what you already know and relearning some new skills. And when I look at senior leadership, right, I always tell them, be ready to learn some things which you don't think you would have to learn. Be aware that this is an area which is evolving. It's not something, which has been there for so many years as some other things in business. So every year there are new techniques coming in, there are new methodologies being introduced. So you have to always keep your learning hat on. And by the way, some things which I'm really a big fan of is to do reverse mentoring for really senior leadership. And that's something which I think from a digital analytics perspective has shown huge benefits in wherever they have done it. The third piece which I say when you are implementing AI is, what I call two truisms. I know they sound like truisms, but I say first, focus on thinking big, acting small, and failing fast.
Yes.
And the second piece I say is, it's customer first. So always when you are planning your use cases and planning your projects and products and solutions, it's about outside in thinking and not inside out. Don't try to build projects or products which you think the market needs. Ask your customers at every stage you can whether this solves any real problem they have today. Start from there. Once you master that, you can then start generating market-leading products.
Yeah. And I'm very happy that you kind of tackle the subject of failure. Like failing fast. Like failure is not. There's value in failure. Okay.
Yeah, and for anybody who's done data science for any time in their career knows that this is a highly iterative process, right? In fact, if things are not changing and everything is going as per plan, you may not be innovating enough.
Well, here's something to think about. Rajat Kotra, the new AI Analytics Director at Informa. Thank you.
Thanks, Max.